John Wilner with us for a couple of minutes. Is U of A football back like they were ever gone? Are they better, John? Are they now a factor off that win? Have they gotten over the hump under Jed Fish?
To a certain degree, they got over the hump because they have, even though they've been losing games in conference, they've been competitive a lot of times, right? I mean, they played SC, that was what, an 8-point game. So it hasn't been a deal all season where you could just chalk it up as that's a loss for Arizona here and there. So they've been more competitive, but certainly this was the signature win for Fish. His fifth win in 2 years, by far his best one, arguably Arizona's best win, in 4 or 5 years. So I think that really will help them with recruiting, with ticket sales down the road. So a signature win in every respect.
And this Saturday, Washington State. The drama, and Jaden DeLora actually spoke about his contempt for Washington State after the game at UCLA when they won on Saturday night. So you have that side of it, DeLora against his former team. If U of A wins that game, it sets up the Territorial Cup as a bowl game for U of A because they would become bowl eligible. For Arizona State, that's their only shot at even saying the words bowl game this year is beating the U of A. So I think the next 2 weeks, Tucson's going to be really interesting, John.
Yeah, sure. There's basketball games, right? I mean, I'm kidding to a certain degree, but the fact that Arizona is playing meaningful games in the second half of November is great for Arizona football, and a credit to Fish and the job he's done. We'll see. The Washington State game will be very interesting for DeLora and his emotions, right? You can go back to last October, and he was clearly distraught by how the situation with Nick Rolovich unfolded, right? But if you're a quarterback and you're too emotional about a game, that can be a bad thing because you can force things and all of a sudden you end up with mistakes. Washington State defense is very good, very active. They will do everything they can to disrupt his timing. I think it's going to be a fascinating matchup. He'll know what Washington State's trying to do defensively, but they're also going to know how to play him and what his tendencies are. And then if Arizona can win that game, and certainly coming down off the emotional victory at UCLA will be a challenge as well. Boy, that would be really interesting. It'd be great for the Territorial Cup for there to be something on the line for at least one of the teams.
John Wilner with us for a few minutes. Bigger game in your mind? The answer seems to be obvious, but maybe it's not. USC, UCLA, if the Trojans win, college football playoff still in their sights. Oregon, Utah. Two big games. They're going to overlap in terms of time on the television. Which game are you more interested in, John?
Well, it has to be the USC-UCLA game because the playoff picture, right? I mean, the Pac-12 hasn't had a playoff team since 2016. And I think USC's got a real good chance if they can win out. Now, they got to beat UCLA. They got to beat Notre Dame, which is playing much better and is now ranked. And then they'd have to win the Pac-12 championship game. So that's 3 wins in a row against ranked opponents with a team that is fantastic on offense, but not very good on defense. I think all 3 of those games could be close and exciting. But to me, the playoff looms over the Pac-12 like nothing else. And SC right now is the only playoff contender.
Before I get you out of here, we're talking with John Wilner. Jim Mora Jr.'s name's come across my radar down here. He has done a tremendous job at Connecticut in just his first season. They're bowl eligible. His athletic director actually has ties to Arizona State, interestingly to me. And Jeremy Chadwell at Coastal Carolina's name has come across my radar as 2 names that people within ASU or even outside of ASU with ties to Tempe have reached out to. What do you make out of both those guys? I think Moore Jr. to me is very interesting given his UCLA ties.
Certainly he knows the landscape out west. I think ASU needs to go young and hungry, right? They need the opposite of Herm Edwards. I'm not positive that Moore is not young, and how hungry is he going to be? I'm not sure. To me, that one is would be a little bit worrisome for ASU. Chadwell is certainly very interesting. Terrific coach. We'll see what other offers he gets. He could be a popular pick for some schools that have openings that are on ASU's level. He's not a West Coast guy. I think that's got to be taken into account. But to me, if I'm ASU, I am going as young and hungry as I can get. Somebody who has proven they can win. I mean, look, Kalen DeBoer at Washington, obviously fantastic hire. The guy won at multiple levels. He hadn't had a chance at the, Power 5 level. Washington gives him a chance. Look what he's doing. To me, that is the model for ASU.